Hello and welcome to all my Flosstube neighbors. I'm Chris and this is XrossStitch, and today is Tuesday, October the 3rd, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 62. I'm so happy to be with you today. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the neighborhood. I'm so glad that you found me, and I hope that you enjoy the video enough to subscribe, to ring the bell, to like the video, to do all those wonderful things that one does when one finds a new person on Flosstube. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so glad that you have taken time out of your day to spend a little bit with me, a little bit of that time with me. And you know, you are the lifeblood of this channel, my friends, my family, all across, yea, verily, the globe. And I'm happy to have you back here with me today. Today's a big day. Today is what I call a royal flush floss tube. And no, that has nothing to do with toilets. Today is a royal flush floss tube. Say that 3 times fast. Royal flush floss tube. Royal flush floss tube. Royal flush floss tube. We're off to a great start, you guys. Royal flush floss tube. Where was I? Oh, why is it a royal flush? Now I'm tickled. It is a royal flush floss tube because I have an FFO, I have finishes, I have works in progress and starts. All 4 categories. I guess you could say a refinishes are special little things. The royal flush floss tube is a finish, a fully finish, a finish, a work in progress, at least one, but I have a few, and a start. Royal flush today. Yes. I think we better just move on into the stitching. Well, no, we're not going to move on into the stitching because there are a couple of things that I wanted to say to you right off the bat. Welcome to October, everyone. Welcome to spooky season. It is officially October. Here, the leaves are starting to turn in profusion. I'm loving every second of it. Going on walks in my neighborhood, I am reminded more and more of the fact that moving here to the great Northeast was the right decision for our family. And we could not be happier. The days are lovely and cool, and the nights are very cool. And the leaves are, I mean, they're gorgeous now. I can imagine what they're going to be like in a couple of weeks. So we have, eating dinner last night, casually looked over 4 deer just strolling through the front yard, just casual, minding their own business, their own deer business, grazing in my yard. I feel like Snow White. But anyway, we are, it's gorgeous here. My Halloween decorations are going up this week. I've ordered more because I need more for this house. And I'm very excited, and I'll be sharing all of those photographs with you throughout the month. We are having a little pumpkin carving gathering with our neighbors at the end of this week. I'm very excited about. So we are settling in and acclimating to the New England autumn very well indeed. And I'm most grateful for every single moment. So just wanted to give you that little bit of update. And as I catch photos of these things, I will share them with you. I did not jump up from my dinner last night to take a photograph because that was just not what you do. So, but hopefully more photographs of wildlife to come. And I have a wildlife update later on in this episode. So now let's really move on to the stitching. Okay. One of the wonderful byproducts about doing this every 2 weeks is between the time I show you a finish and hopefully an FFO, I have time to order things and get them in the mail and put them together. And indeed, that is what happened. I have an FFO to share with you today of A Sunday on La Grande Jatte, 1884. I showed you this last video that I had done this small little piece from a wonderful company on Etsy. I know you can find their things in other places, but I have always downloaded their PDFs from Etsy, the stitch patterns, and they have done an entire line, and there are a lot of them, of many masterpieces, many classical painting masterpieces. And this one is one that I began in as a tribute to Stephen Sondheim on his passing, a Sunday on Le Grand Jatte 1884. This is a small section of the larger piece, and I showed you how I was going to work it up. Well, guess what? I got the frame, I got the mat, and here it is. I'm so excited. I'm going to cut in some photographs of this as I talk about it. This, I matted it with white because it not only is that a reference to the musical. The musical begins with the words white, a blank page or canvas, but Seurat intentionally wanted white around this. I matted it in white. There's white on the actual print of the painting that the stitching is superimposed upon. And I chose the silver frame because it just works in the area of my house in which I'm placing it. But I think this turned out beautifully. It fits exactly, well, not exactly, but it fits beautifully into the painting. It looks like, you know, it's exactly how I wanted it to turn out. My obsessive compulsiveness has gotten to me just a little bit because there are a lot of lines we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the straight line of the matting and the straight line of the photographic print, upon which is the straight line of the edge of the actual painting. And then you have the not so straight lines of the perforated paper. And so it is exactly, sorry about that ring light, it is exactly level here, but it's not exactly, it doesn't look exactly parallel to the matte or the white of the edge of the photograph, but I don't care. It's fabulous. I just love it. And it turned out exactly as I wanted it to. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased with this. Incidentally, if you're wondering, as I was, lo these many years, and it has been many years that I have, you know, loved the painting and the musical, Sunday in the Park with George. I never knew what the word jatte meant. It means bowl or basin. Le Grand Jatte, a large bowl of water, a large basin of water, a lake, basically, pond, large pond. But I could not be happier with this piece. That is my fully finished item for this week. No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I have 2 fully finished items this week. And I'm going to have to go back and redo all my... See, before I film a video, I go in and I do all the templates. I do like the little graphics that go below it, and I do all of the inset shots, and I do all that prep work, so I'm not, you know, sitting at the computer for, you know, a long time, because I do put a lot of time into my videos. And I have all my notes written out beforehand. I forgot about this one. I forgot partridge and pear. This is a ornament kit from one of my favorite designers, Jody Rice of Satsuma Street. I ordered 4. You can order 4 as a set, and they're all kits. I have ordered 4 of these, and I'm working on the 4th. You'll see that one in a minute. I will definitely order more. I am going to order some of the Halloween ornaments because now I want a Halloween tree. Stephanie from Just Keep Stitching, I've been looking at them before even she brought it up, but Stephanie ordered a couple of those kits and has worked on one and finished one, and it's just so freaking cute. I've got to get them. But I finished this, and now hear me out, okay? Vonna is amazing. Vonna Pfeiffer's amazing, and I love her finishes. And she's, you know, the craft maven. She's just amazing. But these ornaments are really intricate in their shape, right? And Christopher just doesn't have the patience to do all of those steps. on one of these. Any of them really, because this one's particularly complex, but they all are. So what I did was I saw someone, and I can't remember who, maybe it was Jody on one of her actual tutorials of how to back these. She had some adhesive backed felt. And I know what I said about felt, and I still stand by the fact that just plain felt on the back of it, to me, doesn't look very finished. But that's the kind of felt that I'm used to getting at Joann's Fabrics, okay, or Michael's, which is just your normal crafting felt. This stuff is less fuzzy and much cleaner looking and is very easily cut with a pair of scissors. So I did this very simply. I added a little ribbon trim in the green to kind of coordinate. I chose a color, the burgundy. You can see he's got the darker burgundy in his little crest. I chose that dark backing. I cut this out. I stuck it right to it, and it's clean, it's simple, it doesn't look overwrought, and I love it. I love it. I put my ornaments on with hooks because I like to be able to twist them and manipulate them so things hang exactly right. So rather than make a long loop for this to hang over the branch, which never would work, I just did this little loop, and I'm going to slip the little metal hook in there and hang it. But there's another fully finished item. And I will be doing all of these like this. My felt was an assortment of colors, and there's one for everything I'm doing. So there you go. Yeah, I'm real pleased with that. I did cut in a little bit so that you can see a little bit of a border of the perforated paper. I like it like that. This is the way I want it to look. So I'm real happy with it. So there you go. Fully finished item number 2. Pursuant to that, here's the finish. Snow Buddy. I finished this little fella. And when I tell you, you know, I've heard so many people on Flosstubes talk about stitching that little house or stitching that little bird, and how much fun was that. I don't know that I had that experience until I stitched this little blue bird on his hat, you guys. It's the cutest little bird. Look at him. Look at him. He's adorable. Here I am, a 50-something-year-old man getting a kick out of stitching a bluebird on a snowman's hat. I've led a sheltered life, y'all. Actually, that's not true at all. I've had the opposite of a sheltered life. We won't even go into that. But so cute, and I'm so pleased with it. And these, you know, these ornaments are bedazzled with beads and sequins, and I just love them. I'm doing, well, you'll see it in a second. Don't get ahead of yourself, Christopher. But yeah, that's Snow Buddy. I'm so pleased with him. And again, I'm going to do the felt backing with him. I'm probably going to use the blue from the Bluebird to back him. I just love doing these things, and they're quick and easy and enjoyable, and they're easy to see, and you can watch television while you're stitching them. Just so pleasurable. So there you go. Finish number 1. Only finish this week, but a finish nonetheless. A few weeks ago, I showed you a video clip of a beautiful, beautiful raptor that was hunting, I believe, grubs or worms, something in my backyard. You're looking at the video right now, probably. And there were many suggestions. I did not know the exact what type of raptor that was exactly, and many of you had suggestions. And they were all very, very good. Some of you said, every type of hawk was mentioned, even a type of buzzard was mentioned. And for a brief period of time, we even thought that it might have been a fledgling bald eagle, because those are indeed local here. I had no idea, but they are. And of course, we have the Merrimack River running through where I am in New Hampshire, and the bald eagles do like to be near water. But what we believe, after a lot of research and looking at photographs, we believe that what we saw in the backyard is a juvenile broad-winged hawk. It might be a red-shouldered hawk, but most likely it's a juvenile broad-winged hawk. And I think it most closely resembles the picture of the juvenile broad-winged hawk from the Audubon Society that I looked at online, most closely resembles what this beautiful bird was in the backyard. So I don't know that the mystery is solved completely, but that's what we're going with, a juvenile broad-winged hawk, for all of you who wondered, and many of you have. So there you go, little interlude. On to works in progress. I worked on several things this week, obviously, but I finished. Of course, I worked on the snowman, and I finished him in the last couple of weeks. So that was a start and a finish. And I also worked on my mini train of dreams. This is art by Randall Spangler. It's a heaven and earth design pattern. It is my first heaven and earth design. This was started as part of a stitch along with my friend Michaela in Germany and many others. Beautiful, beautiful Haid and very intricate and frustrating at times. I finally got this thing into good condition, and I did an entire, another entire diagonal down. That is approximately 700 stitches. And the reason I mention that is because I also mentioned that Michaela had challenged me to a 600 stitch challenge. This is a challenge that was started by, and I'm going to try to do this without looking at my notes, which are over there. It was done, I can't do it. It was started by, it's called the Herpst Challenge, Herbst, Herpst Challenge, started by a Flosstuber who is named, the Flosstube channel, Professor Fantasy Abentur Kreuzstich. I hope I did that right. Abentur Kreuzstich. Stitch, yeah. And the challenge was to do 600 stitches or 1,200 beads on a solid beaded piece or 1,500 diamond stones in a diamond painting on a piece that is autumnal for autumn or orange, that includes orange in the piece. I did the 600 stitches on Trains of Dreams 2 weeks ago, but I did 600 more on that orange because there's many, many shades of orange in that. And specifically, the 600 that I worked on most recently had a lot of orange because it was this section right up in here of those books. It's really cute. You can see the dragon's head now, the little dragon riding the train now, and it's really coming together nicely. And I stayed in my nice diagonal line, and I'm going to work down. So anyway, very good. But that's the challenge, the Herpst challenge. Oh, I only took German this much to sing in it in college, and that was all. Herpst challenge. Created by Professor Fantasy, and we are to nominate 3 people, Flosstubers, to take this challenge on. Now listen, disclaimer. One of the reasons behind this challenge is to get people to watch Flosstubes in other languages, because there's a wonderful feature now on Flosstubes where you can have subtitles and it will auto-translate. So you can actually watch a Flosstube in a language other than your own, and you can read along. And it's a wonderful way to get the stitching community, the international stitching community, all together. And that was the purpose of this. And when I'm nominated for anything like this, I'm going to do it because that kind of community and cross-cultural sharing is, I think, wonderful because we all learn from it. So I'm going to nominate 3 people to take this challenge. I nominate them more to bring them to your attention because I enjoy them greatly. They are all foreign language speakers, although 2 of them, and I know I might be cheating Michaela, but this is the best thing I can do. 2 of them offer Flosstubes in both English and their native language. So the first is my dear sweetheart, and she may have already done the 600 stitches, and that's okay, but I just wanted to mention her, Ilonka of Stitch Ilonka. She is a delightful floss tuber. She offers Flosstube videos in both German, her native German, and English. And she does beautiful stitching on a variety of types of pieces. She's delightful to watch. And not only does she show stitching, sometimes she also shows and tells about cultural costume and things from the area in Germany from which she hails. So I can't recommend Ilonka more. She's just delightful. The other is my friend Esther, who is the Danish stitcher. Once again, Esther offers videos in I think she's actually speaking German in them. And she may originally be from Germany. I'm not sure. You'll have to go watch her to find out. And I need to do my homework. But Esther is wonderful. She does a lot of pop culture pieces. Her stitching is beautiful. She has gorgeous red hair. And she's very, very enjoyable. And for the third, I did a little bit of recon. I wanted to include my favorite foreign language. Not that I speak it very well, but I love French, and I have studied French un très peu, and I found a floss, but I don't watch any French floss tubes. So I looked through a few, and I found someone who is just delightful. Her name is Mimi Pinson, and she is a couturier and a stitcher as well. She makes her own beautiful clothing, but she also shows her embroidery, the majority of which, if not all, or all that I've seen, is point de croix, is cross stitching. So I'm nominating her. She does not know me from Adam's house cat. And she's probably like, who is this jerk over in the States who's going to spit? But go watch her. Just go turn on your subtitles and watch her. She's adorable, and she's effusive, and she does beautiful stitching and beautiful sewing. So I'm just, Mimi, I wanted to do this so well. Vous ne me connaissez pas, mais j'apprécie beaucoup vos vidéos et j'espère que vous continuerez à nous montrer à tout votre point de croix. Which basically means, Mimi, you don't know who I am, but I enjoy your videos very much, and I hope you continue to show us your cross-stitching. So there's all of that to say, those are the three people I nominate for 600 stitches on an autumnal piece or a piece containing orange, though you don't have to work on the orange section. There you go. Oh, Michaela, I hope I did that correctly. All right, moving on. And of course, I had a start over the 2 weeks since we have seen each other. And this is a start that I was going to start on October 1st to celebrate the Halloween season, but I couldn't wait, and I started on September 28th. But this is one that I've had for a while. I showed it before I took my hiatus, but I love this piece so much. This is Minerva, one of the Bewitching Pixies by Nora Corbett. And I am stitching this on a beautiful piece of Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Aida. This is a 16 count Aida called Queen Crepe Myrtle, this lovely lavender with shades of green. I think it's going to look gorgeous when this is done on this particular design. I love that owl so much, and that beautiful demi border that she's looking up into. And I really think that I am going to do a bit of a conversion for her skin tone because I want her to be green. I just do. I think it's fabulous to be green. It's not that easy being green. Anyway, I just, as an homage to the Wicked Witch of the West, you know, I love the Wizard of Oz, as an homage to the Wicked Witch of the West, to the musical Wicked, because this does look a lot like Elphaba in her finery, looking up at an owl. Elphaba, by the way, is the name of the Wicked Witch of the West in Wicked. Does anyone not know that now? I think everybody knows that. But anyway, I am loving this. This is much different than the other Mirabilia that I'm working on, Miss Cherry Blossom. Miss Cherry Blossom is vast. And this, I think I will be able to finish hopefully before the end of the year, because they're much smaller. And as I was stitching it, I got a goodly portion done rather quickly. So I have high hopes that this will be a finish by the end of this year, because I'm enjoying stitching on it. And I think that it's going to go a lot more quickly than a large full-scale Mirabilia. I have to work on what shades of green for her skin tone, but I'm going to save that until the end, just to ensure that all of the different shades of her skin are I have an equivalent for them, because I think it's 2 or 3 skin tones because of the shadows and what have you. But I'll find them and I'll do it, and she'll be green. It'll be great. Minerva by Nora Corbett. I completely forgot that I had another start. I told you this was a royal flush floss tube. I said it better that time. I started another ornament, the 4th of the set of Satsuma Street's, of this particular Satsuma Street ornament set. This is Candy Claus, and he's adorable. And I started him as well. You're going to see the start. And there's another bird, this little green bird. I haven't done him all. I've just got the darker green in him. But this is enjoyable. I just love these. I love these ornaments so much. Jody Rice. I'm sure you don't watch me, but if you do watch me, I love your designs so much. And I hope to meet you one day. I haven't heard about StitchCon yet, but I know it's early, so we'll see. I'll let you know. It's time for Story Time with Chris, episode 3 of the Mother Saga. And I am so edified by the fact that you're all enjoying this romp through my past. And you know, it is very cathartic for me to be telling this particular story. I'm glad to be telling it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've had so many warm comments about of support over it, and it means a lot, and I'm very grateful for it. So I just wanted to say that off the top of the bat. But where we left off, I was born. I think that's the beginning of a Dickens novel. I think it may be David Copperfield. I was born. Yeah, I was born in La Jolla, California, in Scripps Memorial Hospital. Mother was very pregnant with me. She likes to say that she would never have thought I would have been such a little baby looking at her while she was pregnant, because she was not a little pregnant woman. But she had me. Infamously, she talks about the nurse sneaking her a cigarette into the hospital room. I don't know whether I believe that or not, but my mother smoked her entire life. And I was there for 2 weeks, and she used to walk with me on the beach in the morning, an infant little baby, you know, she would go for walks with me. And 2 weeks after I was born, she flew back with me to our small town in Alabama, Northwest Alabama, Sulligent. And of course, when she returned with this little baby, all of the focus went to the baby. It wasn't on the trauma or the turmoil or the scandal, at least not overtly anymore, because the attention was turned on to me by, of course, our family, but by the rest of the small town as well. And I think it alleviated some of the pressure on my mother, at least for a while. She was a wonderful mother in my early years. And my life during those, I would say the first 7.5 years, was the childhood that I remember most fondly. My grandmother, my great aunt Johnny May, and my mother in the house with me, and all of my great aunts and uncles around us on Sunday afternoon and Sunday morning and Wednesday evening, because we lived right next door to the great big Methodist church. So anytime the doors were open, one or two members of my family were visiting with us because they would always stop by the house before they went to the service, whatever it was. So it was a wonderful period of time, and I was incredibly close to my mother. She worked 15 miles away and would carpool with two or three other ladies that were delightful and I adore to this day still. Haven't talked to many of them in many years, but I love them all. And when she would come home, it was just wonderful. I would wait and watch for her car to come around the block. There was only one. And I would be so excited when she came home, or terrified because I'd been a bad boy that day and Granny was going to get me in trouble when Mother got home. And those were the memories of Christmas that were so wonderful. Those were the memories of everything, every idyllic kind of childhood memory is from that period of time with my mother. And those are the ones that I remember of her. I keep to kind of counterbalance what would happen in later years. And as I say, everything was absolutely fine until my third grade year. Halfway through my third grade year, I was 6, 7, 8, 8.5. And my whole world changed because my mother decided that she would move to Birmingham and take me with her. And that's exactly what happened. So I was plucked out of my safe space. And being a sheltered child who was very attached. I told you the story about running away in kindergarten and running away at the beginning of first grade and then Granny having to come and sit outside the first grade. I mean, I was a skittish, shy child. And when we moved to Birmingham, my world was upended. And I'll talk more about that in 2 weeks' time. At this point, Christy and Callie, I know y'all are going, why did he do that again? He's left us hanging again. Yes, and I'm going to do it every single time. Because that's how you keep wanting more. You always leave people wanting more. It's an old stage adage. But more to come on that. And now we're going to move on to giveaways. All of my giveaways from last video were provided by the dear, wonderful, sweet Judy Whitman of JBW Designs. I just adore her and her work. so much. Judy has a Flosstube channel, and if you've not watched it, you should, because it's a panacea for the soul. I mean, not only does she have interesting things to say, but I just love the sound of her voice. She has a great, great accent. I love it. And you do, Judy, whether you realize that or not, but it's divine. But all of these were provided by Judy for my viewers. And here are the winners for the JBW's chart. That didn't make sense. Here are the winners for those charts. We had the Bluebirds of Happiness. The winner of this, Sherry Rudder. Sherry Rudder. Congratulations. We had Hannah's Bluebird Sampler. Keyword for that was Hannah. And the winner of that is Deborah Quilts. Deborah Quilts. I don't know if Quilts is her actual last name or if she just does that. I kind of think she probably just does that because I've never heard of anyone with the surname Quilts. But you know what? I learn something new every single time I make one of these videos, and I bet you money you'll let me know one way or the other. So Deborah, congratulations to you. You've won Hannah's Bluebird Sampler. The next giveaway was a pair of Judy's stockings. This one is for Stitcher stocking and the Bristol stocking. The keyword for this was Bristol, and the winner of this, Beth Gilleen. Beth, congratulations. And another pair of stockings. This was the sampler stocking paired with the Danish stocking. And the winner of those two, Cindy Scruggs. Congratulations, Cindy. All of you, if you wouldn't mind emailing me your mailing address to XrossStitch@gmail.com. 3 S's, X for the cross. It'll be in the show notes below, obviously. Email me your mailing address and I'll get those out as soon as possible. The giveaways for this week are donated by Amanda Berry of Cobweb and Rose. Amanda has been so generous offering her charts for me to use as giveaways. I've done it in the past, and this worked out beautifully because it's the beginning of October. It's the beginning of spooky stitching, literal spooky stitching in the month of October, even though I stitch spooky all year long. But I thought it was perfect. These are 2 different charts, and there will be 2 winners for each. So we'll have 4 winners total, but there are only 2 different options this week. The first is Autumn House. Autumn House. She's done this as a flat finish. But you could do this as a small pillow for a dough bowl or a tiered tray. You could do it, you could even make well, I think even this she might use as an ornament. The key word for this is going to be autumn. Autumn. And the next we have Spooky Cat. And you know I love a spooky cat. This one's cute. I'm probably going to stitch this one. Cute little small. My Halloween cat was at the beginning of the video. I did that one last year and it's sitting out in my den right now. Anyway, Spooky Cat, the key word for this obviously is going to be spooky. Spooky. So I will draw 2 winners for each of those, and those will get to you very soon because those will be delivered via email. So please be okay with giving me your email so that I can send those PDF charts to you as soon as they're announced next week. Please, for all of my giveaways, be 18 years of age or older so I can ask you for your email or your address. Please like the video. I just spit. There was just a plume of spit. That means I'm enunciating properly. If you ever go to a stage play, don't ever sit in the first row because if the actors are doing what they're supposed to be doing, you'll be covered. Please be 18 years of age or older. Please like the video, subscribe, be a subscriber to the channel, please. And don't use any words like giveaway or winning or et cetera, et cetera. And those will be announced in 2 weeks' time. It's time to wave at the neighbors, my last segment of the video. And I love doing this. This is kind of a new thing, but I love it. I'm waving at Chris E. Chris with a K, E, who sent me these lovely ladies. She writes, greetings and salutations. I just watched episode 61 and thought I would share my version of the Golden Girls with you. Please meet the Golden Goats. Left to right are Dorothy and Sophia. They are a mother-daughter rescue pair. Next are Rose and Blanche. Our herd is now at 10 pygmy goats, and that is where we will stop. That is just the greatest thing. If B. Arthur, Estelle Getty, Betty White, and Rue McClanahan knew that there was a quartet of goats named after them, I'm sure they would love it. I'm sure they would love it, love it, love it, because I love it, love it, love it. Thank you for sending those. That is the perfect thing for a Wave at the Neighbors segment. I love those little goats. Listen though, are those the ones that if they get scared, they all seize up and will fall over? Part of me feels badly when I watch those videos, but the other part of me that's crying and peeing my pants is enjoying the heck out of it. But are those the goats that do that? Let me know. I know you will. Send me an email because I just want to know if those are the ones that seize up. And bless their hearts when they do. I mean, that's me in every nightmare I've ever had though, right? You're running away from the thing and then you just can't run. I need therapy, I think. Thank you, Chris. I loved it. So that's the video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. And I hope that the next couple of weeks for you are lovely as fall comes into its full glory. Wherever you may be in the country, I hope that you are at least getting to enjoy fall if it's hot where you are. I'm very grateful to not be in the heat anymore, that's for sure. But I wish you wonderful stitching. I wish you peace and happiness and comfort. And until next time, can't wait to see you. Take care and bye-bye.